These KDP Maze books sell extremely well on Amazon. This KDP book sells around $1,590 to $3,180 per month with a profit of around $2.45 per book, which equates to profits of around $3,900 to $7,700 per month. And this KDP published book sells around $724 to $1,440 per month with profit of around $3.14 per book, which equates to income of around $2,200 to $4,500 per month. And these are royalties. That's pure profit. And that's the beauty of these types of books, in that they are digital products. They sit on Amazon waiting for customers to buy them. And when someone does buy them, Amazon prints them out, sends them to the customers, and also deals with any customer support issues. So in this video, we're going to take a closer look at these books, which are Maze books. And we're going to explore the niche. I'm going to show you some resources for creating these books, and one of them is very interesting because it's free. And I'm going to show you the all-important keywords which are essential for giving your books the best chance of getting ranked on Amazon, getting seen by customers. And I've got a free gift for you there as well. So let's look into this. So we're looking at Maze books, and as I've just showed you, they sell extremely well. But what I like about these is that there are lots of different types of Maze books, or what we call sub-niches. And these are aimed at different audiences. So you've got kids, teens, adults, even seniors, but you've also got different types of maze books with different themes, things like dinosaurs, unicorns, nature, zoo, etc. So there's a whole range of different types of books that you can create. We can see here on Google Trends that the interest in them remains pretty consistent. If we take a look at the interiors, we can see they are pretty basic. We've basically got these mazes with additional graphics. Then we've got this book with plain but more complicated mazes aimed at an older age group. And again, we've got these mazes here. And as you can see, they're very straightforward with additional images to give the interiors a bit of interest. Now, in terms of the general properties of these books, they all tend to be 8.5 by 11 inches, have around 100 to 120 pages in each book, usually sell around $7.99 to $9.99. So that's good because of the potential there of good profits. Now, the main niche is quite competitive. As you can see here, we've put in Maze books and we've got 7,000 search results. Not quite as competitive as things like colouring books, but still relatively competitive. But as I mentioned earlier, one of the beauties of this type of niche is that there are lots of different books or sub-niches, and a lot of these are less competitive. And I'll show you later on in the video around this and how I target those less competitive sub-niches or keywords to give my books a better chance of getting seen on Amazon. And also, as I've showed you, these sell extremely well. So next thing, in terms of creating them, well, we've got a number of options. If you're already a subscriber to BookBolt, you've got the BookBolt Studio. And here, when we're creating a book, we can choose a page, click on the maze icon. And if you scroll down, you do have these options here of different types of mazes. If we click on one, select a page, select next, you do have all these different options here to customize the type of maze that you're creating. However, BookBolt isn't free. To use this feature, it does cost $19.99 per month, but you do have a 3-day free trial, so you can actually give it a go, and in that time you could probably even create a book. Next option that I like is Creative Fabrica, and here I've just done a search for maze. This site sells lots of different KDP interiors. Now, what I would advise against doing is just downloading a whole PDF file here and uploading it to Amazon. What I suggest is taking different mazes from different downloads, adding them together, and then you've got something a bit more original. Otherwise, you could be using an interior that someone else has used and get pulled up by Amazon for duplicate content. Now, currently, you get the first month for free and then renews at $9 per month. But in that first month, you can download up to 10 different items. You could go along here and download some maze interiors. You could download some images to go with these interiors, so you could put them all together and create something. And it's very straightforward. I'll show you in Canva. Click on custom size, Most books are 8.5 by 11 inches, don't have any bleed. And what we can do is just download a file from Creative Fabrica with some mazes, and it's just a case of dragging this into Canva, clicking on it, and it appears on your page, and you can just enlarge that. Then you can add a next blank page, add more images from that download, or as I said, download some other interiors and just mix and match different mazes from there. But I'm going to show you this other alternative that I came across, which is free, and that is from codebox.net. Now it says here that you can use software on this site for personal or business purposes, although if you do earn money, then please consider making a donation. Just good karma. So we go over to the software here, click on Maze Generator, and this is what you're presented with, and then you just click on the link, which takes you to this page, and you can choose between a square maze, triangular maze, hexagonal, or circular maze, and we can increase the complexity or decrease it as we wish. We can have the entrance to the maze, bottom to top, left to right, but we'll go bottom to top. So then we just click on New Maze, and we have our maze created. Click on Download, and at the same time, you can click on Solve, click on Download. So now you've got the solution to your maze, which you would tend to put towards the back end of a book. Let's go back to Canva and just drag in that maze we've just created, and it will upload and appear on our page. As I said earlier, you can download images from something like Creative Fabrica to add to this. Here, from a previous video I did, I've got some dinosaur images. So just for a bit of fun, I'll just add those there just to give you a general idea of what you can do. And so you get the idea. That's just a very basic example. Obviously, if you're creating your own book, you would make the pages look a bit more attractive. So you put all this together in Canva, creating page after page until you've got somewhere in the region of that 100 pages to 120 pages, which you would then save as a PDF ready to upload to the KDP platform. Okay, so now we come on to the section on keywords. And as I mentioned earlier, these are very important, if not vital, for giving your books the best chance of getting found on Amazon by customers and therefore making sales. So what is a keyword? Well, it's essentially a search term. So here we've got Maze Books. It's something that a customer would search for. And when we search for this, we can see we get 7,000 results, which, as I said earlier, is quite competitive. There's lots of other people who have published similar books on Amazon. Now, if we were to click next to Maze Books, we can see here all these other phrases that appear. And these are also keywords. Amazon is essentially telling us what customers are actually searching for. I do have a plugin installed called AMZ Suggestion Expander, which also gives me these other keywords as well, which customers again are also searching for. And that plugin is a Chrome plugin, and it's completely free of charge. So what I normally do is take all these search terms and put them into a spreadsheet. Now, I have done a video recently on how I do keyword research, so I won't repeat all that here, but I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. But essentially what I do is collect all these keywords, put them into the Amazon search bar, look at how many search results there are to give me an indication of how competitive they are. And I come up with a spreadsheet that looks something like this, which I'll enlarge for you. And here we've got the keyword, the number of Amazon search results for a particular keyword, and where available, the Google search volume. This just gives us an idea of how often it's being searched for on Google. It's just a bit of extra information which can be quite useful. And in total, when I did my research for this, I found 147 keywords. Some of them not very competitive, some of them very competitive. Now, I would target competitive keywords if I was thinking about running an ad campaign. And also, if you are thinking of running an ad campaign, you can also use these keywords in your ad campaign. So these are a great starting point for doing your own research. You can take these, put them into the Amazon search bar, and look at the type of books that are appearing, look at the covers, look at the bestsellers ranks, get an idea of how well they do actually sell. Now, what I do is I tend to target, this is what I do, tend to target those less competitive keywords. And over time, if you design a good enough book, you will get sales, and your book will then start to rank for those more competitive search terms. And this can take a period of time. It can take months, even sometimes a year or two, but your book is making sales and making more and more sales as time goes by. Now, creating this spreadsheet, this list of keywords, is quite time consuming. but I have saved you all that time because I've uploaded this to my Gumroad shop, and it's absolutely free of charge. And you can download this list of keywords in Excel format, .csv format, and PDF format. So it's just a useful resource for you to start your own research. And again, I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. Now you may be asking yourself, well, that's great. I've got these keywords. Other than doing more research, what do I actually do with them? Well, I've also done a video on that, which again, I did recently, and that is linked to in the description below. And it tells you how I use keywords in my books on the front cover, in the title, subtitle, description, and 7 keyword boxes. Again, to give my book the best chance of getting seen on Amazon. So, if you are interested in those 2 videos, this one here shows you how I do the keyword research, and this one here is on how I use keywords. I hope you found all that useful and a good starting point for creating your own books. Thank you much for your time, it's very much appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, goodbye.